What's up, guys? It's your boy Optimistic Fin Fan back with another video today. And today is a beautiful Friday, ready for the weekend, but not ready for another Miami Dolphins football game as we take on a division foe, a division rival, and the New England Patriots on Sunday. So this video will just kind of highlight kind of the week's injury news and any breaking news for the team moving into this game, as well as my 3 keys, and obviously the prediction at the end. And I'll throw in my game of the week as well, a game that I'll be looking at closely. So without further ado, let's kind of talk about the news coming into this week and kind of how as the week progressed in regards to our Miami Dolphins. So for me, there was 2 kind of big pieces of news. You can make a case for 3, but 2 that stick to my mind. And the first, obviously, the sad news Jaelen Phillips posted on his Instagram a couple days ago, saying that he would be out for the year with a knee injury. We didn't really know what the knee injury was. All we know is that it's going to require surgery. It's going to require him to be out for the remainder of the year. From what I heard, it's an ACL. So all I got to say on that is a couple things. One, my thoughts and prayers are with Jaelen. I know he's kind of had a rough go at it the past couple years. He really started to light it up last year, and then he went out with that Achilles, and then came back ahead of schedule, working hard all off season, good training camp, was able to go week 1, got a sack, and then unfortunately this news came out, and I just feel devastated for the guy. I may put out a video in the upcoming weeks how that affects his contract moving forward with the Miami Dolphins. I believe that I don't think we're going to really re-sign him unless he comes back on a team-friendly deal. So that's unfortunate. He was one of my favorite players from the U. And so hopefully he recovers soon and he's able to suit up for the Miami Dolphins again. The second piece of information, we brought back a couple players from the PUP. This was our first kind of window of opportunity that we can bring back the guys that started on IR at the beginning of the year. 2 of those guys being Cam Smith, cornerback, and the big name Odell Beckham Jr., who has been practicing in full all week. McDaniel came out and said today that he may be on a kind of a snap count, limited role. And I haven't heard much on Cam Smith. I don't know his situation and his practice status. I believe he's been limited in practice. So I don't think Cam will be back. I do think Odell will suit up for the first time, and he will be limited. I really don't think he's going to make an impact until Tua comes back. Just as the offense has kind of moved, I don't really see him doing much. I know him and Huntley played in Baltimore together, so that has that going for him, but I just don't see him being a super big impact until Tua comes back and the offense is kind of clicking that way. But it will be exciting to see him kind of suit up. If he can stay healthy, I really think he would be good kind of in that third down role, moving the chains, the middle of the field, kind of doing the dirty work in regard to the route tree, opening it up for Waddle and Hill on the outside. So I do think he will make an impact if he can stay healthy. That's a big if, because he's gotten hurt pretty much every year of his career in the last 5 years. But I think we need depth at the wide receiver position. After the 2 big guys we have, I mean, we've struggled incorporating other options, whether it be Berrios, who I don't even think has a catch this year, Malik Washington, the rookie, he's a rook. He's been hurt too. He played his first game last week. So we're very limited at the wide receiver position right now, aside from the 2 big guys. So bringing back Odell will be huge for this offense. And a couple injury notes. I know Poyer, coach, said today that he probably will not play. I don't foresee him playing. Marcus May will probably start in his spot, which Poyer has not impressed me at all. He's been very average at best. So I don't think that's going to be a huge loss. I think Marcus May can fill in well. Maybe we activate Nick Needham. He can play some safety. So we'll see what happens at the safety position. But the big news, injury-wise, is the concussions of Kendall Fuller and Teron Armstead. So they were practicing in full all week. Coach said hopefully they get out of concussion protocol either today or tomorrow. So if they're out of concussion protocol, they will play. If they're not, then unfortunately they won't. So we don't have a for sure definitive answer as to them, but we'll kind of see how that moves. So that's kind of the big news coming out of this week, the injury kind of updates for the Miami Dolphins moving forward into this game on Sunday. So now I'll kind of talk about my 3 keys to the game for Miami to pick up the victory. So when I think about these 3 keys, I try to be a little bit more in-depth and rather than just run the ball and things like that. Obviously, they need to establish the run. That's been given. However, the way defenses are playing us now that Tua is out is more kind of stacking that box, even putting the DBs kind of not in the box per se, but they're kind of pressing on the line of scrimmage because they're not afraid of the deep ball because of the guy under center. So it's been really hard, especially against Tennessee last week, to establish that running game. Miami has to do a better job establishing it. Getting Mostert back would be huge. I forgot to talk about him in the injury portion of the video, but getting Mostert back, he's questionable, would be huge. The vision that he has in the running game is a little bit better than Achane, in my opinion. So getting him back would be crucial into getting this running game started. But it all starts up front with running the football. And I've voiced my opinions on this offensive line, but this is, at the end of the day, this is the offensive line we have. And they have to make holes and do their job so that the backs can get their yardage. So anyway, my 3 keys to the game. My first key, and this has been a huge problem pretty much all year, but especially Tennessee game, control field position. That starts with McDaniel being a little bit smarter. He's gone for, I think, 12 to 13 fourth down conversions this year, which is a lot going into week 5. He needs to think about who's under center and play the field position game, especially with the New England team that their offense isn't that dynamic. And so if we control field position, it is okay to punt and let our defense do their work. What you cannot do is turn the ball over, like the Tyreek play in the beginning of the game last week, go for it on fourth down in the midfield area and giving your team, the opposite team, good field position. We did that for Tennessee countless times and set them up with field goals. So controlling the field position is going to be huge, and it is okay to punt, especially with Tua being out. So controlling that field position, putting the Patriots in poor positions, starting field position, and putting us in better field position as well. The second thing, success on first and second down. Too many times we were in third and longs, and whether that be, play calling, whether that be penalties, holding penalties, things like that, we got to cut down the penalties, and we have to have success on these early downs to make third down manageable for Tyler Huntley. Get in these 3rd and 5 and shorter. Allow Huntley to use his legs in those shorter yardage situations. We don't want to keep putting him in 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 11s, 3rd and 12s. And that's what we had a huge amount of in the Monday night game. And we're not going to be able to sustain success with a backup quarterback in those 3rd and longs. So we have to have success on those early downs to have a chance in this ball game. And the third thing is opportunistic defense. The Patriots may have one of the worst offensive lines coming into this year. I don't believe I know what they're ranked, but they're in the bottom half along with us. They just today put on IR their starting center, David Andrews, as well as a young offensive tackle. I don't know if left or right, I can't remember. 2 guys going on IR. They're playing with a banged-up offensive line, an offensive line that was struggling the early parts of the year and even in preseason. Miami has to take advantage of that. I believe that the defense needs at least 4 to 5 sacks. We need some interceptions. We need to set our offense up in easy situations to get points, whether it be field goals, whether it be touchdowns. And really, this game, I think it boils down to who gets to 17 points first. Because both offenses are going to struggle. It's going to be a very defensive-heavy game. Patriots have a very respectable defense. And so those are my 3 keys. And at the end of the day, Miami needs to play a cleaner game than they have. They need to cut the penalties down. They need to control field position, stop going for it on dumb fourth downs. They need to have success on first and second downs. And their defense needs to continue to be opportunistic. They need to get to the quarterback. And if we can do that consistently, run the football, play smart, I believe we can pull out the victory in New England, right? So this next part of the video, I'll give my predictions on what I think is going to happen in this game. So, in New England, already a tough environment to play in. The last time we didn't have Tua in New England was a couple of years ago when he got that concussion in Green Bay and we lost the game. It was an ugly, very ugly performance. And New England has a strong D. And they're going to play us hard. They're going to stack the box. They're going to dare us to throw it. They're going to stop the run early. Okay? So McDaniel can't get discouraged on that. Throw in some different types of runs. Again, I would throw in some zone reads. I would sprinkle that in. I didn't see a lot of that in Monday, and that kind of surprised me a little bit. He came out after the Monday night game saying changes need to be made. Well, I'm waiting to see them. If we continue to roll out the offense how it is, the way Tua runs it with Tyler Huntley, it's not going to be successful. So McDaniel has to be smarter, and I hope he kind of learned his lesson these last couple of weeks, and he's going to move forward in that direction. But I think it's going to be an ugly game. Like I said previously, really the first to 17. I don't even think anybody will get to 17 in my prediction. However, I think Miami has more weapons than New England does. Miami's defense has been playing respectable. The thing that scares me is New England's running game and the way they can run the football against our run defense. But it does help us that they have a couple offensive linemen out. I do predict our rookie, Chop Robinson, will get his first sack this game. With Jaelen Phillips being out, he'll probably be thrusted in a starting role. I believe he's going to get his first sack. And I think the defense gets a couple turnovers, and we get one touchdown. I believe Tyler Huntley to Achane, a little halfback, maybe screen or something like that. I think Achane gets into the end zone, and the Miami Dolphins kick a couple field goals, and we pull out the win, 16-10. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. It's going to be a very ugly game. And so I do think Miami gets on the right track, gets the ball into the end zone, gets the win, and the momentum going into the bye week before we play Indianapolis. So that's my prediction. One game of the week that I'll be looking at closely is the Buffalo Bills-Houston Texans game. I'm a huge fan of Stroud. I think, again, Josh Allen's playing the best football of his career. He ran into the Ravens last week at home. I did predict that the Ravens were going to win that ball game. I just had a feeling the Ravens being at home, picking up a big win. Now, I didn't think it would be in that fashion that they did, but I will be looking at that game closely. The Bills did lose Khalil Shakir, their fast receiver. He's out this week. So it's interesting to see how Josh Allen and that offense bounces back against Stroud. So I believe the Bills will bounce back and get the victory. And I think Josh Allen will get back on track. So that's the game I'll be looking at this week, sans the Dolphins game. But that's my prediction for this game. And, I really just hope that it goes better than that New England game and it looks better and the team comes out with a little bit more fire. So, again, I appreciate anyone coming in, watching this whole video in its entirety. I do appreciate it. And, again, if you like what you hear, if you want to hear more, I just kind of want to follow me on this journey, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think your predictions are for the Dolphins game? Do you think Huntley will bounce back? Just give me your thoughts and predictions. I'd love to kind of talk with you and debate with you. So again, I appreciate everybody's support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.